Hey, just a warning. While Fuller House is a family show, the Fullest House podcast is not. Listener discretion is advised. Hello and welcome to the Fullest House podcast, where intro joke to be determined later. I'm Mark Greene.
I'm Harrison Bloom.
And I'm Zach Horowitz. Guys, it's season 5 of Fuller House and the Fullest House podcast by extension. We made it.
We are almost in uncharted waters. We have like 2 or 3 more episodes before we reach the point where we are going to be reacting to stuff just for the first time.
That is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think Zach said we got to episode 6 of season 5.
I believe we got to
before starting the podcast.
Yeah, it was episode like 5 or 6. And then we decided, hey, we should make a podcast about this. And then started over from the beginning. So season 5 is going to be an interesting one.
It's going to be interesting. I'm curious how it'll go. But also, guys, excited.
I'm very excited. After last week's Frasier episode, which was very wonderful, thank you again for introducing us to that show, Mark. Yeah. It's good to get back to our roots.
Fuller House.
Yeah, our roots, Fuller House.
Yeah. The roots that are being planted in this episode for Baby to be determined as she arrives in the Fuller Tanner Gibbler household.
Yes.
That's right. We've got a baby and she does not have a name.
Yes.
Yeah. This feels like something they could have thought about beforehand.
Yeah, they're following the Jewish tradition.
Steph, not to get ahead of ourselves, but Steph says like, well, I wanted to get to know the baby and then maybe the name would come to me. And it's like, Steph, it's a baby. I don't know how much personality it's going to have.
Yeah, it doesn't really do much yet. It is a newborn.
Like I said, it's the Jewish tradition. We don't know if the baby's going to spontaneously combust on the first day, so we wait to give it a name till later.
Yes, those Jewish babies. They always be exploding. You know, we're all Jewish. Do you guys remember your first explosion?
Yes.
I cried a lot in the hospital. I don't have any siblings, but I'm told, like, you know, there were a lot of explosions going on around me, other babies. Luckily, I survived, but that it was just, you know, that
I had 3 sisters who exploded before the 2 that survived. So
exactly.
So it really just shows if you keep trying the same thing over and over again, eventually the girls will stop exploding.
Yes.
That famous saying that came from like an Aesop fable, right?
If you keep trying and you never give up, she won't explode.
Yeah, the story of the muskrat and the otter.
Yeah, exactly. The famous story where at the end the otter fucking explodes.
And then we get a new otter and everything's okay. Anyway.
But yes. We start the episode with everybody preparing for a party because there's a new baby. And Max hit a growth spurt overnight.
Everyone looks older.
Yeah.
Max is at least beginning to go through puberty.
Yeah.
Max just had like a massive growth spurt.
Than J Money did.
Yeah.
Based on the dialogue in this episode, there were no voice tracks. He managed to avoid them.
He had a massive growth spurt on the car ride back from the hospital. Doctors can't explain it. He's a very abnormal baby. He might explode by the end of this episode. We'll see.
It's been 3 days.
With Ramona and J Money, it makes sense. The strain of the awkward car ride made them age 2 or 3 years. So
yes, but Max must have seen something horrible because he has aged 3 years in 3 days.
Yes. Max went to the beach that makes you old.
Yep. That explains it. Yep.
In between seasons, Max went to the beach that makes you old by himself.
Yep. It's just, they're just getting ready. Ramona has a joke about how if 3 more people move into this house, they legally have to declare it a commune.
Yes.
DJ's over planning for this baby. We had to shout at the screen. DJ, this isn't your baby.
Yeah.
Yes, we all shouted at the screen. Unfortunately, DJ did not hear us.
I don't know why. She's really mean that way.
I don't know why she didn't. We were really loud.
The one thing she didn't plan was the banner, because she left that to Ramona, and Ramona had the genius idea to put "Welcome home, baby to be determined."
Baby to be named later.
Baby to be named later. BTB NL.
PTB,
Maternal.
baby to be named.
Yep.
later.
But they've all gathered to celebrate their return from the hospital with the baby. J Money does an Uncle Jesse impression that comes out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the point where everyone but me said, "What was up with that?" And I said, "Oh, that's Uncle Jesse used to say things with that intonation."
And then lo and behold,
it's like, "There's a baby coming, huh?"
And then lo and behold, there's a knock at the door, and it's TV's
Who
Bob
is it?
Saget, not Uncle Jesse from Full House.
Whoa!
TV is Bob Saget.
Bob Saget. I don't know why
Whoa!
I don't
It's not Danny Tanner. It's just Bob Saget.
They're all celebrating as if the baby's gonna be here, and then it's Bobby Sags.
Bob Sags, and they're like, Bob Saget, what are you doing here?
You look just like my father, Danny Tanner. And he says, "You've confused me with the beloved host of America's Funniest Home Videos. I'm not Bob Saget. I am Danny Tanner."
Whoa.
It's a really weird exchange in this episode.
Yeah.
But that definitely happened.
It definitely happened, yeah.
There's a good line where they don't really need Danny for everything. They're like, "Why are you here?" And Danny says, "There's got to be something I can do. I'm not Joey." Which...
Sick burn.
I just wanted, give him a little snaps because, yes, you don't want Joey near this baby. Have you seen how his kids turned out?
That is true. Have you seen
His horrible
Joey's
children.
devil children?
But Danny also, he comes bearing gifts, vodka, cigars, neck pillows,
And a whole lot of
Calvin Klein's.
Basically, he was
cologne.
at the airport.
A whole lot of Calvin
Yes.
Klein fragrance. I forget what
I
it
don't
was
know
called.
why he was at the airport when he lives in San Francisco, but I guess he was away and had to come home right away with the baby.
Yeah, Danny Tanner was too busy dealing with the situation in North Korea and had to fly back in an emergency because his
He
granddaughter
was
was
doing
born.
some serious reporting in North
Exactly,
Korea.
yeah.
Oh, God.
He's a serious journalist.
Yeah. Wake Up San Francisco talks about the horrors of North Korean prisons. Anyway.
Wake Up San Francisco, unfiltered.
The hard-hitting journalism.
for the expose.
Who knows? Aunt Becky might still be there, and that's why she doesn't appear for the rest of the series.
Yeah.
Zach, you're saying Aunt Becky is not in an American prison. You're saying that, no, Lori Loughlin is in
Lori Loughlin is in
prison
an
right
American
now.
prison. Aunt Becky
is in a North Korean prison.
Yes, there's a difference.
Yes, that is the canon reason she left the show.
It's weird that Uncle Jesse never says anything about it,
Yeah.
but that is what's going on.
He's afraid to tell the family because it would break his heart for them to know that Becky is probably being tortured by North Korean soldiers.
He just comes up with more elaborate lies every
Yes.
time they ask, "Hey, where's Becky?" "Oh, she's on the moon reporting on moon rocks for Wake Up USA San Francisco." I forget what they're doing. Wake Up San Francisco again, right?
I think
Maybe
so,
a
yeah.
more elaborate lie would be she's on trial for
Murder.
using this weird guy to fake her children's college applications. That is
And Aunt Becky's
almost
like,
a weirder
"You got the
story
wrong
than
guy, I
went to the
swear."
moon.
And Aunt Becky's just like in court, like, "I swear, you got the wrong person. The person who you're really looking for looks exactly like me. I understand, but she's not me. You're looking for Lori Loughlin. I'm Aunt Becky."
She's from The View.
I'm first name Aunt,
Yes.
last name Becky.
Yes.
Anyway, they hear people approaching. They start celebrating again, and in walk Kimmy and Fernando.
Yeah.
And guys, Kimmy is
That's
having
not
a
Steph and
midlife
Jimmy.
crisis.
Yes. She immediately grabs a bottle of vodka and just starts drinking.
Yeah.
She wants to experience all the dangerous things that she couldn't when she was pregnant. And Fernando is very much in support of this.
Yes.
His eyes and face and words say, "Help me, this is a problem." But Kimmy can't be stopped.
No one puts Kimmy in a corner.
No.
She's a wild animal.
Anyway, Steph and Jimmy finally show up with the baby to be named later.
And everyone's like, "Oh, you're finally here."
Yep. They really miss the opportunity to do the joke where when they finally show up, everyone is distracted.
Yeah, you're right.
That they are celebrating for Danny and they're celebrating for Kimmy and Fernando, and they just completely forget to actually celebrate when the baby shows up.
I thought you were gonna say they missed the opportunity to just have that same joke going for the entire episode and just bring back like all the fun side characters we've had over the years. It's like, first it's Danny Tanner, then it's Kimmy and Fernando, then Uncle Jesse shows up, then Joey shows up, and then Macy Gray shows up.
Yeah.
Just like repeat for 20 minutes.
Mankowski, Josh Peck, Macy Gray, the new kids on the block.
And they all show up at the same time, by the way. It's like, oh, it's everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they were on the show, but like bring the Property Brothers in.
Property Brothers.
Hi, we're the Property Brothers. We're here too for some reason.
We're here too because you have to declare your house a commune.
And then the door knocks again, and it's the third Property Brother.
It's the third Property Brother. Another knock. Former Vice President Al Gore. Like, you just keep going. You keep going.
Al Gore shows up and he just starts reciting an inconvenient truth.
Oh my
God. It's more relevant than ever now, guys.
Oh my God.
There's a genuinely very nice moment where Stephanie comes in and says to Danny, like, "Do you want to meet your first granddaughter?" And they have a moment with the baby that's actually very sweet.
Yeah.
It is. It's kind of adorable.
Yeah.
That was very good.
It's adorable. It's kind of sweet. And it's well acted. They seem genuinely a little choked up.
Yeah.
We're not here to talk about sweet things because Max is about to mention the engagement of Stephanie and Jimmy. And Jimmy immediately covers his mouth and says, "What? Engagement? I wouldn't I wouldn't propose to Stephanie without asking for her hand from Danny first."
There's like a whole thing where Max is like, "Yeah, I mean, you got all that stuff except for a wedding date." And then in my mind, I was like half expecting Jimmy to just be like, and then just snap Max's neck. Just like kills Max in cold blood.
That's a lot for this show. I don't know why you were half expecting that.
I mean, I don't know if I was expecting it, but it definitely had that energy where he was like laughing. He was like, I'll murder you in your sleep.
It had a very threatening energy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
That's correct.
Oh, right. And then DJ is
DJ
trying to be
goes
the mom.
Yeah, she picks up the baby. She's really excited to meet her niece. It's also very cute. And then some lady walks in.
Some strange lady walks in, says, "I'm here, give me the child," takes the baby and leaves. And it's just like...
And I know we make the joke a lot where we say silly things and they actually said that. But she genuinely does say, "Give me the child."
She says something along those lines like, "I'm here, give me the child," takes the baby, and then walks into the other room.
That might
As if it's like
be what
Baby
she said.
Yoda and she's there to train him in the Force.
Oh my gosh.
She's like, "Give me the child."
"You're a wizard, baby, to be named later." I'm a what?
Yeah, the baby just starts talking.
This newborn girl starts talking and sounds exactly like Daniel Radcliffe.
I think we need to write our own children's fantasy series that is very similar to Harry Potter.
Yeah.
But instead it stars a baby.
You're a baby wizard.
Everything is exactly the same, except it's a baby.
Yeah. All the other characters are their normal ages. So there's like 11-year-olds acting off of a baby.
Wait, you're saying you're the famous wizard who defeated Lord Voldemort? Oh.
Yes. just runs into a wizard battle at the end of the series, and she's like a toddler now, and she's just like, ah!
But she's, yes, it's just good. It's very good. And this children's fantasy series won't be written by a transphobe, so you can enjoy it guilt-free and give us your money.
Yes. Give us your
money. We're going to
money.
have a theme park about Baby Wizard.
Yeah.
It's the name of the series, Baby Wizard.
Baby Wizard.
Baby Wizard.
Baby Wizard and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Baby Wizard.
It's a franchise.
Yep.
That's our spinoff, guys.
But yep, a random lady comes in, literally takes the baby out of DJ's hands.
Yeah. And Stephanie says that it is her doula. I didn't know a doula was a thing, but I'm sure it is. So
yes.
Yeah, I remember this was a thing that a conversation we had when we watched it the first time. We were just like, none of us had ever heard of a doula because we are
Mark had heard of a doula.
I knew what a doula is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember having a conversation after we watched this the first time because none of us knew what a doula was, or at least I didn't know what a doula was. But yeah, that's a thing.
It sounds like a weird Polish wizard. Like
it's a person you hire to take care of your baby.
Yes, it is. It's not weird. Like, I've seen it in other shows also. Like, I don't mean to say like you guys are uneducated. I'm just saying I don't know if we should if we should belabor this point, because I think it actually is much more common than you might think.
Yeah, we just didn't.
It's just we're not the target audience for doulas, being, men in our early 20s.
I guess so. Anyway.
Yep, Steph tells DJ that she wants to do things her way, not DJ's way. Which, like, when is DJ gonna learn that she isn't in control of everything?
Spoiler alert, Mark. Not this episode.
Yeah,
not this episode. One of these days, there's gonna be an episode confronting the fact that DJ wants to run everybody's lives, and it won't end in, wow, DJ, I guess you really do care. It will end in DJ going, you know what, you're right, maybe I should step back a bit.
Yeah. Stop giving myself migraines every 10 minutes because of all the stress of running your lives while you keep saying, please stop running our lives.
Anyway, speaking of people running other people's lives, we cut to the next scene. Steph is in a room with Jimmy and the baby and the doula, and Steph, wants to figure things out, wants to help with the baby, and the doula is not letting her. The doula is very mean.
Yeah. What is up with this lady? Who hurt her? I can't even remember a single word she says other than give me the child.
She says shush a lot.
Yeah, that's not a word though. That's just
does it count as a word? I feel like it does.
I think shush.
It's a noise coming out of her mouth that is voluntary.
Here's the thing.
Is it an onomatopoeia?
Shush is a word. It's an onomatopoeia. Shh is not a word. That's a sound.
Oh, okay.
You can shush someone, I guess, but the act of shushing someone is going shh.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's my point.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Guys, we're learning today.
Yeah. If anything else, guys, the Fullest House podcast is really a learning experience for all of us.
It's an I think we think of this show first and foremost as educational.
Yes.
I'd like to think we've taught a lot of people a lot of lessons about spelling, grammar, and, life.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And algebra.
Listen to our podcast instead of going to school.
We'll teach you math. I will personally teach you math.
Or I will teach you math, and Zach will teach you social studies, because we want to fuck with... we want them to have the least valuable learning experience.
And I'll tell you niche facts about sitcoms.
We all become your new teachers, but we're all doing the subjects that we are least qualified to teach.
Yes.
Like, I'm teaching history, Harrison's teaching math, Mark is teaching another. I can't come up with things on the top of my head. I'm a
scientist.
Ooh, Mark
I'm
is a scientist.
teaching science.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Maybe more suited to like English, creative writing.
No.
But no, I've decided I'm gonna be a scientist.
Mark's real passion in life is to be a chemist.
A science man.
Mark Greene, the science
That's
man.
what I call him.
Anyway, this lady is mean, and you know she's mean because they keep referring to her with Game of Thrones nicknames.
Yes.
Like, it started out fine, like they mentioned Melisandre because creepy redheaded lady, but they just keep going with it. Every other second, they refer to her as the Mistress
I don't know if they're all Game of Thrones
or
references, but they do have a lot of nicknames for this lady. Unflattering nicknames.
I was also going to say, may I mention my favorite IMDb trivia for this episode, which is
yes, you may.
And I quote, "There are several Game of Thrones references in this episode."
Yeah.
That's it. That's the trivia.
That's it? They don't even explain what the references were?
6 out of 7 found this interesting.
That's genuinely like, this lady won't let them do anything, won't teach them anything. Steph says like, oh, we wanted to use cloth diapers. And she says, oh, no, you're not using cloth diapers. And Steph goes like, do you have a reason? And she goes, yes. And then doesn't tell them anything. Mm-hmm. That's the same. There are a lot of Game of Thrones references in this episode. Oh, can you tell us what they are? No. Are you sure? Because maybe we can look. No. She's a bad doula.
She worked for Beyonce, but she's a bad doula.
Look, that is true. We forgot to mention she worked for Beyonce.
So apparently Beyonce is either the best parent in the world, learning to do it by herself because she don't need no Jay-Z telling her how to raise her child, or her doula just hates Stephanie and refuses to teach her anything.
Maybe she hates Stephanie. But you know what? I am just gonna say, look, this is uncharacteristically for this show. This is a good baby. This baby has done nothing wrong. It's a good baby. Mm-hmm. It's a bad doula. Not a bad baby. Bad
doula.
That's right. We're turning our anger towards doulas now.
Yeah.
Bad doula watch, guys.
It's a bad doula.
Yep. Steph, she struggles to burp the baby when the doula finally lets her do something. I also want to mention, this is maybe the second time in the entire series we've seen Steph's room.
Yeah.
Probably. One of the very few times, at least.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For a second, I was like, where are we again? Oh, right. We have seen this room.
Oh, yeah.
In like season 1.
Stephanie lives somewhere in this house.
Steph lives somewhere, and we do get to see it.
Yes.
DJ comes in. She's complaining about the doula, and Steph says, like, look, I hired the doula because I knew if you were asked, you would just jump in and devote so much time and effort to this, and you're a busy lady. You have a job, you have a boyfriend, you have 3 kids of your own. That's true.
Yeah.
And admirable.
Yeah. It's pretty valid reasons.
But next scene, guys, Danny is building a thing for the baby, and Jimmy comes in with a burning question. I wonder what it's gonna be.
Boxers or briefs?
He's very nervous, and it's wonderful.
Yes.
He's very nervous to ask for Steph's hand. And it's great. He doesn't know how to act.
But he is saved by a very important task, which is assembling the baby mobile. Is that what it's called? The crib or whatever.
It's like a baby thing.
It's like a rocking.
Yeah, it's like a rocking thing. It's like a little chair and a device that kind of bounces up and down.
It definitely has a name that I don't know. It's not a mobile.
No, it's not a mobile. Yeah,
it has a mobile.
Oh, it does. It has one.
I think it had one.
Yeah.
Okay, but not only is he saved by that, he's Kimmy roller skates in.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when I say roller skates, there are big air quotes around that.
Yeah.
Because
she rollerblades in.
Wearing rollers. You're right. I'm sorry.
She's
wearing rollerblades, but she sort of just like jumps over the steps, rollerblades for 2 seconds, and then jumps onto the couch.
I thought she just ran with the rollerblades.
Yeah,
I don't even think she used the rollerblades.
Yeah. It was a very real Kimmy Gibbler doing all of this, by the way.
Yeah. She just kind of ran to the couch.
Yeah.
Completely neglecting the rollerblades.
Yeah.
We don't get any fun rollerblade comedy from Kimmy, but you know who we do get some fun rollerblade comedy from?
Fernando.
Who's going through the exact same character arc that Matt did when he got that weirdly hyperactive girlfriend in season 2.
Oh, I miss Matt's very active girlfriend. She was fun.
She made Matt do weird things.
She was
She
fun.
made Matt do weird things.
She was fun, and she also gave us the wonderful character of Mike here.
Oh, that's true, Mike.
Oh, right. I forgot Mike here.
Mike
right.
here.
Yeah.
It's me, Mike. Mike here. Mike here. I'm back on the podcast. Hi, Mike here.
Yay, Mike! So good to
Mike's
see
back.
you.
How have you been?
I've been honestly pretty bad. Mike here.
Why, Mike?
Care to explain? Is we will gladly put this podcast on hold to do a therapy session for you, Mike.
Honestly, it's sort of a general malaise. Like, I know I say Mike here, but sometimes I feel like Mike not here.
Aw.
Like Mike floating through life.
Hey, well, we're always here for you, Mike. So
Yeah.
if you ever need someone to help you out, just give us a call, okay?
Yes,
So
exactly.
you're saying Harrison here
Yeah.
and
Harrison
Zach here?
Yes.
And Mark here too, when he's not letting you speak.
Right.
Yeah,
Of course. Mark had to leave the room and go to the bathroom in the middle of the podcast.
I know, he's so
And I
unprofessional
slipped in
like that.
discreetly while he was gone. Yeah, he's just the worst. Super unprofessional. Like, get your head in the game, Mark. What are you even doing? Mike here. Mike here. Mark should be here as well, in front of the microphone.
Yeah.
In front of this mic here.
Yeah, what the fuck, Mark?
Yeah.
But anyway, Mike, thank
Anyway,
you for
I-
telling us what you've been going
Yes.
through.
Yeah. We're your friends, and we want to be here for you. So let us know if you ever need anything from us.
Yeah.
Mike here. That means a lot. But now I have to go off to my next adventure.
Awesome.
So it will soon be Mike there.
May I ask, Mike? Is this
Oh,
gonna be
Mike.
is this gonna be like some sort of cowboy adventure?
Mike here. Yes, it will be.
That's
Fuck
awesome,
yes.
man. That's awesome.
Mike here.
I'm sure there is going to be 100% cooler when Mike is there.
Oh yeah.
Right now it's Mike there. Soon it's going to be Mike here.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, have fun on your cowboy adventure, Mike.
Have fun.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for all your wisdom and insight. Anyway, I have to go. Goodbye.
Bye,
Bye.
Mike.
Bye. Hi guys.
What the-
What's going on? I just got back from the bathroom.
Nobody
Mike
tell him.
was here.
Nobody tell him.
Wait.
I mean, I think I already said it.
No. No, Mark, you had to be there.
Harrison was here. I just hope we were all being nice to our fellow co-hosts and weren't talking about like any unprofessionalism, because I feel like I'm pretty professional.
Oh, super professional.
Yeah,
Super
yeah.
Super not professional.
Guys, if you're gonna talk behind my back, don't do it on mic.
Mark's not gonna be able to hear anything I say because I'm whispering into the mic.
Zach, you're not even whispering. It's a stage whisper. You're going like this.
Anyway.
Anyway, Fernando is gonna die because Kimmy is working him too hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fernando is literally going to die.
He has a line where he says, "I can't keep up with you. You're like a race car on wheels." Which, Fernando, it's your job to keep up with race cars on wheels.
Yeah, but he's also in a race car on wheels when he does it.
That is true.
I will
Yeah,
cut him some slack on that
right.
one.
We do also know, though, he crashes a lot.
Yeah.
So maybe
Also,
he is bad at his
Isn't a
job.
race car always on wheels?
Yes. Correct. You've observed correctly.
Not if you crash it hard enough.
Yeah, Fernando tries his hardest to not have race cars on wheels.
Yeah.
Yes.
Speaking of crashing, Kimmy leaves. Jimmy gives Fernando a gentle push into the kitchen, where there are loud crashing sounds. Meaning
Yep.
Fernando
I don't know
has
exactly what he
grievously
crashed
injured himself.
into because logically the first thing he would have crashed into is the table. But
Well, they just in preparation for the baby, they had stacked all their pots and pans on the floor in a giant pile,
as one does, of course.
as one does.
Yeah, exactly.
Anytime there's a new baby, you gotta air out your pots and pans.
Exactly. It's a rookie mistake. A lot of new parents don't do that with their pots and pans.
Yeah.
But
if you don't air them out every once in a while, they can develop like weird bacteria and fungus.
Exactly.
So you do just have to take them all out, throw them on the floor in a pile, and leave them there for like 2 to 5 hours.
Welcome back to our newest segment, Parenting Advice from the Good Time Boys, in which we teach you how to parent.
Again, educational show.
Exactly.
Get out those pots and pans.
Get out those pots and pans and the baby.
We should also say, Fernando says, remember me how I was the most beautiful boy in the world.
Which is one of...
Not going to argue.
Quite possibly a top 10 quote from the entire show.
Yep.
He is the most beautiful boy in the world. This is just a fact.
But the kids come in looking for the family's baby naming gown. Which I looked it up, and maybe that is a thing, but it sounded very weird and sort of cult-like.
Yeah, it does sound very cult-like, which is fitting for the Fuller house.
Yeah. I would not be surprised if this family had different gowns for every task.
Yeah,
can't brush my teeth without my toothbrushing gown.
All right, dinner's over. Ramona, put on the dishes gown.
Ramona, you've done a misdeed. You've done a sin. Put on your shame gown.
Oh, no.
We've established this family is a cult, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We've known about this for a long time now, many seasons.
Yeah. Also important, but Jimmy is about to ask Danny his question when Danny accidentally hammers his thumb and says, "Don't cry, Dan the man." We should also say it's established in this scene that Danny's nickname is Dan the Man.
Yes.
Yes, he's given himself the nickname Dan the Man. And it works. It's working for him.
Except when he hammers his thumb.
Then it's not working for him.
And I just have to say, is it weird that all of DJ's children take after Danny?
You know what?
Max is at the beginning of the series, they try to establish like Max is very uptight and neat and likes to clean things. He's like Danny. J Money's a bit of a bad boy. He's like Jesse. But instead, we find out that J Money is a bit of a sad boy instead. They're both kind of like Danny.
Yeah. They're both kind of like Danny. And then Tommy is just a baby.
Tommy is a baby.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, Joey is kind of a big baby.
Ooh. You know what?
Guess so, yeah.
Is Tommy gonna get a Mr. Woodchuck puppet of his own?
No! Keep that puppet away!
Listen, Harrison, eventually at some point you're gonna have to acknowledge the sexual tension between Joey and Mr. Woodchuck.
They can do whatever they want, but keep that puppet away from the child.
Wow, that's very
Mr. Woodchuck
close-minded
can't
of you,
be trusted
Harrison.
around children.
Joey can love Mr. Woodchuck, but only like behind closed doors. Don't take that out in public.
Fair enough.
Think of the children. Oh my God, Harrison,
I'm not being woke about my.
It's very puppet
so
phobic.
not woke about Woodchuck.
Everybody cancel Harrison.
I'm Woodchuck.
Anyway, they go to the attic and they find artifacts from Full House.
Yeah, they basically do our old segment. Hey, remember Full House for 5 minutes?
They go up to the attic, which until this point was Kimmy's room, and now it is not.
Right? Do they have 2 attics? Where is Kimmy sleeping?
I thought it was well established at this point that Kimmy lived in the attic.
Kimmy does live
like
in the attic.
The original show,
they had above the attic.
Yeah, in the original show, they had an attic. And they converted that into a room for Jesse and Becky to stay, into basically their own apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when Danny says go to the attic, the kids are like, we have an attic? Like, they didn't know.
Maybe they installed a second attic because they got so used to the idea of it being a room.
They have the living attic and the storage attic.
They they renovated the house, I guess. They added an attic on top of the attic. They
converted like all of their other storage spaces into living spaces. Because this house just has so many people living in it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, actually, my old house...
It's very full.
...had 2 attics. And they have a pretty big house. Like, yeah, I had, like, an attic in my room, and then there was, like, an attic in my parents' room. So they were separated. Okay. Like, they weren't one space. But
interesting.
Yeah, so that's possible.
Okay, I take it back. This house is very normal and good.
It has 2 attics. But yeah.
But Max mentions he recognizes all this stuff because they have 8 years of home videos that are very TV show like. Haha.
Yeah, it's really weird that they added a laugh track to their home movies.
Yeah. They got a cameraman to just live with them 24/7.
And like edit together 8 seasons of a TV show based on their life.
Yeah, it's very strange.
There's also a line that I just want to draw attention to where J Money says, for a normal family, for a pretty normal family, we have a lot of weird stuff. And it's like, J Money, you think this is a normal family?
Exactly. I think we all had like the same reaction to that. It's like, J Money, you think your family is normal? Which I guess to be fair, J Money has not seen the world. All he knows is the cult.
I guess so.
This is all he knows.
I guess to him they're probably normal, but to anyone who is not part of this house, they are not normal.
And I mean, there's a joke where Max says, like, yeah, we're very normal. Oh, look, it's my mask from my it's my King Guarito mask from my Mexican wrestling days. So, like, they're aware, but yeah, it's like, J Money, you and your family have been getting into sitcom situations for 30 years. You live with Fernando.
Your surrogate sister dated a Japanese pop star.
I was gonna say.
Your parents performed with New Kids on the Block on stage.
Yeah. But it's like the attic has all this like Full House and Fuller House memorabilia. The painting of Fernando is in there as well. They mentioned that, which like, that painting is too good to be stored in the attic. I'm sorry.
Yes. Must be displayed.
Yes.
Anyway, we go to the next scene where DJ is trying to trick the doula.
Yes.
She switches the right baby bottle nipples for the wrong ones.
Why do they have incorrect baby bottle nipples?
I don't know. Maybe she sabotaged them in some way.
Maybe she laced one with cyanide. So
hello, Miss Doula. In front of you, you will see 2 baby bottle nipples. One of them is normal, but in the other one, I've secretly hidden a gun.
One is laced with iocane powder. The game ends when you choose, and we find out who is right and who is dead, and the baby will be dead.
In the end, both are actually laced with iocane powder, but the baby has developed an immunity over the 2 hours of its life.
Yep.
Exactly. You gotta start them young. You gotta build up that poison immunity.
Or we get the scene where it's, you see, I poisoned both the baby bottle nipples, and that's my bad. That is. What are we gonna tell Steph?
Fuck.
There's probably a cure for iocane powder
somewhere in the world.
Anyway,
doesn't help
peace out.
The baby's dead.
I'll let you explain this.
Yeah.
DJ just comes out and is like, aha, the baby's dead. You're a bad doula.
Anyway, DJ tries to kill the baby. Steph comes in.
I'd like to put it as she doesn't actually try to kill the baby.
She doesn't actually try to kill the baby.
I feel like this is an important detail, is that she doesn't actually try to kill the baby. We're just being idiots and making stuff up.
We're joking.
Felt like that was an important distinction to make.
And Steve says something like, look, you gotta let it go. If Steph likes the doula, you gotta accept the doula. And then Steph comes up screaming into a pillow.
Yes.
Because she does not like the doula.
And we have a pretty funny exchange where Steph throws away the pillow and she's like, oh, a pillow, what are you talking about? Blah, 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 blah.
Well, she says to DJ, like, what are you doing on your phone? Because DJ had been spying on the doula with her phone. Right. And DJ's like, oh, I was just calling Steve, who was standing right behind her.
Yes.
I don't know why he's not picking up. And then Steve picks up and says, hello, this is Dr. Steve Hale. Who am I speaking to?
Steve is doing his best. To whom am I speaking?
Steve is a supportive partner, and we stan.
We stan. Yes. We stan Steve.
We stan Steve down by the seashore.
Yeah.
Yes.
We go back to Jimmy and Danny. Jimmy says, I have something to ask you. He gets down on one knee.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And finally asks, I want to marry Steph. Do I have your permission? And Danny bursts out laughing.
Yeah.
Jimmy says, look, did I say her name wrong? I know sometimes when I'm nervous I call her Shpepany, but I know her name is really Shpepany, not Shpepany.
Again, Adam Hagenboo.
That was great.
Killing it as usual.
Yeah. Oh,
Killing
so
it.
good.
It's so good.
As it turns out, Danny was laughing because Stephanie I suppose, was wearing an engagement ring when she walked in. So yes, he already knew. But
There's a very good line where he says Steph was wearing an engagement ring, and Jimmy says, "I told her to wear mittens."
we also missed a great moment where they finished constructing the chair, and I guess it moves on its own or whatever. So Jimmy's about to turn it on, and Danny says, "No, wait, hold on. I need a win." And turns it on.
Which is
himself.
like, I mean, I may be getting ahead of myself here, but just perfect sad boy material. That is exactly the kind of sad boy material we are looking for.
It's exactly what we want.
Danny
It's
working
great.
overtime on accumulating sad boy points.
Danny's giving us Danny's giving us exactly what we want.
He needs a win. Then we go to Kimmy and Fernando dangling from acrobat ribbons. What are those called?
I don't know.
They're doing some Cirque du Soleil shit,
Yeah.
is how I'm going to describe
I'd
it.
also like to point out, they're doing this in the backyard, outside. We do not see what these like what these like silk ropes are hanging from. So
Well, maybe Kimmy rented a crane. You ever think of that, Zach?
Great.
Kimmy spent a lot of money renting a crane.
I mean, I was just gonna say that after her pregnancy, Kimmy became a wizard and just is holding it up in the air through magic. But that works too.
Sure, that could have
She's
also
the defense
happened.
against the dark arts teacher in Baby Wizard.
Yes.
Yes. Baby Wizard, America's new favorite sitcom.
Yes.
Yes.
Coming to a TV screen near you. Year.
So, the very real actors playing Kimmy and Fernando are doing this gymnastics routine. this
Well,
acrobatics
Kimmy
routine.
does the gymnastics routine, and then Fernando just falls from the sky,
Yes.
dangling from silk ropes.
Yes. Only one of them accomplishes it, but they're all being voiced over.
Yes.
But Fernando says, "Look, you got to stop doing this. I don't think you actually want to be doing these things. I think you're just acting this way because you're actually sad. You miss being pregnant and you're sad about it." And Kimmy's like, "What?" And then goes, "I miss it so much."
Oh.
And they have a nice scene where Fernando says, "Look, you might not be pregnant anymore, but you're still going to be a big part of this baby's life, and you can watch the baby grow up, and it's very nice and sweet." And moving on,
Yeah.
Moving on.
Steph is sad that she's not getting to do anything. She has gotten the baby naming robe, which first belonged to her ancestor, Hezekiah J. Tanner.
God.
Earlier in the episode, Danny uses Jimmy's previously established full name, which was like Jedediah
It was like Jeremiah, Jeffcoat.
Johnson Gibbler. I do prefer Jiminy Gibbler.
Yeah, Jiminy Gibbler is that's the one we've
superior.
come up with, and it's superior.
But like, why are the Tanners and the Gibblers are just like descended from settlers, from the people who went through the Oregon Trail?
My thought is maybe they have a feud. That's why Danny hates Kimmy so much.
Yeah.
Because of the blood feud that goes back to their days on the Oregon Trail.
They came out during the Gold Rush.
Yes.
It all makes
A
sense.
Gibbler struck down a Tanner for a nugget of gold, and that's where it all
Indeed.
started.
But anyway, the doula just takes the baby and leaves, and Steph is shouting after her, "But I wanted to spend time with the baby to name her.
Yeah.
At this rate, I'm going to name the baby Hezekiah."
Ah.
Which, like, maybe the baby should be named Hezekiah.
Yeah.
You ever think about that? You ever think about naming a baby Hezekiah?
Mm-hmm.
Of course. I mean, there are so many old-fashioned Bible names to use. Like Hezekiah.
Like Hezekiah.
Yeah.
But anyway, DJ comes down to get baby powder. Steph says, "I can get the baby powder." They start kind of fighting over it. We were like, "Oh, the baby powder is going to explode all over them." And then it sprays a very tiny amount of baby powder
Yeah.
on Steph.
Yeah.
It should have been more, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, then they talk and they have the same conclusion that they always come to, which is DJ does care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which at least it has kind of a nice justification this time.
Yeah.
Where Steph is saying, like, look, I just want to be able to do things for my baby. And DJ says, 4 years ago or 3 years ago or whatever the timeline of this show is.
5 years.
5 years ago. I feel like not every season is a full year.
Yeah.
You moved in to help me take care of my children, and now I want to reciprocate and help you take care of your child. So that's kind of nice. But also, yes, it is. Oh, DJ, you do care. You don't need to not intrude.
Yeah.
In this episode, which is very much about Steph doesn't want people intruding, it comes around to Steph saying, oh, DJ, you can intrude anytime. But I do like you helped me with my children. I want to do the same for you.
Yeah.
They make up. Steph says, like, I wish I could be as perfect a mother as you. And DJ was like, oh, I was a mess when I had Jackson. Which explains a lot about J-Money.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
She also says that she took him through a reggae festival because she was concerned that the car seat wasn't installed properly. So maybe J-Money's just a weed baby.
He's a weed baby.
Yeah, he inhaled a lot of secondhand weed smoke.
Yeah.
Blaze
that
it.
Reggae festival.
420.
Hey, reggae festival. Yeah. 420. Yep. Steph gives DJ permission to fire the doula, which DJ had been wanting to do all day. So she runs off, and then Danny comes down. And Danny feels bad because he feels like he's not needed anymore. His daughters just resolved their feelings without him.
But that just shows how good a parent he is.
Yeah, that's how good he is. He raised them right.
Yeah, they don't need him to resolve their problems anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't stop how he feels.
Yeah.
In his heart. In his heart.
In his heart. In my heart.
But Steph says, we'll always need you. There's a very sweet scene between the two of them that I think was very well acted. I liked it.
Yes.
Okay. I liked it.
It was quite good.
So then we have the moment that infuriated us.
Oh, yeah.
The first time we saw it. And it wasn't as bad this time.
It wasn't as bad, but
Tyler,
it was funny
who was
having
watching.
Tyler who hadn't seen it before because he also was miffed by it. We get to the naming.
Yes.
And if I can say it and Steph starts saying how she's decided to name it after someone very special, someone who's always been there for her. There's a very good moment where Ramona says, baby Ramona, baby Ramona, baby Ramona, baby Ramona.
Again,
Ramona low-key being the best character
Ramona
in this episode.
does not have much of a role in this episode, but she takes what she has and
Every
runs
line
with
is
it.
So good.
Yes.
So good.
And so I was like, yeah, I'm going to name the baby after someone.
Well, she says, I'm going to name the baby after someone who's always been there for me. I think the first time we were watching it, we went, oh, fuck, she's going to name it after DJ.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's so predictable, and it's glorifying the character of DJ, making her into like this.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, Zach. I just feel like it's important to say when she starts doing that. I think we all had that reaction.
Yes.
But do you want to say who she instead names the baby after?
It's like, yeah, I'm gonna name it after someone who's been there from the beginning, taught me everything I knew about how to be a parent. Joey.
Joey, little baby Joey, Joey the girl, baby. That's what we'll call her.
Yeah, it's not Joey. I pranked you. I pranked the audience.
Well, it's sort of Joey.
This is our new segment that we're introducing for season 5 called Pranked.
Season 5 of the Fullest House podcast. We're now a prank show.
Yes.
Yes. Oh God.
Don't you feel foolish?
Don't you feel foolish now? But yeah, no. She actually names the baby Danielle, so that it can be shortened to Danny Tanner. Get it? Like D-A-N-I instead of D-A-N-N-Y. Get it?
And it's very sweet. I think that was a good.
It is kind of sweet
for the baby. It's very sweet.
And it would be great if she had stopped talking there.
It would be great, but she's not done.
Yeah, it would have been great if that had just been the end of it. But she keeps going.
She adds the name Joe. as it like
Yep.
Joe.
Yep. She says,
By
that's
has
not
her middle
all,
name.
because there's another person who is the most important person in the world. The child's middle name shall be Joe, so we may call her
Joey.
both Danny Tanner and DJ Tanner. So the baby is named after DJ.
And that's
And-
when we lost our shit.
Yeah.
That was just
The first time we were watching it, she started saying there's someone else important in my life, and I went, no. I don't dislike DJ as much as I did on our first watch through, but there is something about everything has to be about DJ, even the name of Stephanie's baby.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just- oh my
When they
God.
did the nice thing with Danny Tanner. But so I did appreciate, even though I wasn't infuriated this time, that she says, so the baby will also be DJ Tanner. And Tyler said, fuck this.
Yeah. And they also decide that Kimmy's gonna be the godmother of the baby.
Yeah.
Yes. And there's a scene at the very end where after everything, Kimmy is cradling the baby and talking to it about how much it's going to be loved and what it's like to be in the Fuller Tanner family. And the episode ends.
Yay.
Yay!
There were a lot of sweet moments in this episode.
There
I will
were.
say.
It definitely like
Sweet.
works well as a season opener.
true.
This episode was 35 minutes long in comparison to the
Yeah.
usual episodes, which are about 22. So it was a
Yeah.
bit of a longer episode.
I think it's a little long and a little meandering, but it had a lot of sweet moments.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this brings us to the sweet moment of our podcast. The sad boy of the week. I nominate Danny.
Woo!
I also
Are-
nominate Danny.
Are we gonna give our boy a win?
I think it's gonna be Danny. I mean, we can nominate other people, but like halfway through the episode, I had the thought like, wow, sad boy is almost certainly gonna be Danny. And then he said out loud, I need a win.
Which, again, giving us exactly what we want for sad boy of the week.
Yes.
But I think Danny's up there. I'm
Yeah.
inclined to nominate Fernando for just being involved in all of Kimmy's
yeah.
shenanigans and almost
Yeah.
dying.
Fernando is a mess who almost gets killed by Kimmy.
Yes.
But I don't know if I can recap if you want me to, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna vote for Danny. no matter
Recap
what.
Danny.
Yeah.
Let's go through all the reasons why we think it's gonna be
Because
him.
we just summed up Fernando. That's the recap. Timmy
Yeah.
almost
Dan-
kills him.
Yes.
Danny shows up. He's kind of unwanted. He doesn't have anything to do. He has brought last minute gifts from the airport. Yeah, J Money is very much like, oh, it's not a baby, it's just grandpa.
Yeah.
Nobody wants anything from him, so he's just stuck building the baby thing, which he has no idea how to build. He reveals he started the nickname Dan the Man, and that it was mostly used to say, hey, Dan the Man, stop crying, butterflies aren't poisonous. He hammers his thumb and says to himself, don't cry. A classic J Money move, co-opted by Danny Tanny.
Indeed.
And in the end, I just want to shout out, there's a lot of just patheticness from him. And then I just do want to shout out at the beginning of the naming ceremony gathering, Danny stops everyone and says, I just want to take a moment to make this all about me. Just which now he's co-opting DJ's move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then everyone just shuts him down. Very
Everyone just
rudely.
tells him shut up.
Yeah.
And also the line, let me do this, I need a win.
Oh yeah, that line
Because he can't.
is really what solidifies it for us, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
You just can't assemble that baby carriage.
All right, and with that sad boy win, Danny is now officially tied for third place with Steph on the sad boy
Oh my God.
leaderboard.
Holy
All
fuck.
right.
Wait, who's in second again? Fernando?
Fernando.
Okay. And then J Money's got the lead.
Yeah. Danny and Steph both have 6. Fernando has 7.
Mm.
So it's a close race for second place. J Money is still way in the lead, as he should be.
It's anyone's game.
It's anyone's game as we enter the final season.
Yep.
This is like where, and you know, you start playing like the final lap music from Mario Kart. This is where legends are made. This is where sad boy legends are made.
Oh boy. So I think that's gonna wrap us up for this episode.
I think so.
I think that's it for this episode. Guys, I've had a wonderful time talking to you about Full House.
Of course.
Guys, if you liked what you just listened to, please follow us on social media. We are at Fullest House Pod on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I hope everybody listening has a wonderful day. I'm Mark Greene.
I'm Harrison Bloom.
And I'm Zach Horowitz.
And until next time, may your houses be fuller, and may we all get a win today.
Yay!